Angel, can you start by stating your name, your company, your role, and a little bit about Elite?
So my name is Angel Abrego. I'm the owner and CEO of Elite Premier Nursing Services and Elite Infusion Services in Palm Beach, Florida.
What kind of company is Elite? What do you guys do?
So we are a private home care agency. So we work with individuals in their homes, seniors, and it's not just seniors. It's kind of a thing that most people get wrong about our industry. They just kind of say home care, your geriatrics. But we do a lot of post-op care as well. A lot of clients that, they can be 18 and over. They have post-surgical situations, orthopedics, things like that. But we deal with clients in the home.
And how long have you been doing this for?
True, for my whole life. Prior to owning the company, we've been in business about 11 years. I've been doing this for about 18 years total.
And Angel, what led you to seek out a solution like Hellohire for your business? Like,
To be honest with you, I wasn't looking. I was not. See, as a business owner, we get approached all the time with new, latest technology, new things that are supposed to expedite our processes. It's a huge tech craze that's going on now. So when I actually was introduced to Hellohire through one of my staff members, I was a little hesitant. I really didn't want to listen in the beginning because I was just like, they all do the same thing. They got the API tracking, or they speed up your process. I'm like, it's a money grab because I still got to do all of the work and still do everything. I'm not interested in another application. That was sort of my approach to it. But then I had the meeting with Raven, and from there we basically tested the system. We checked it out, and I fell in love with it. I'm never going back.
that's amazing. So you weren't really seeking out something like you said. You've been approached by vendors all the time. It's all more of the same. There's nothing really different out there.
Yeah,
What?
because we,
Yeah.
we get approached by vendors literally daily. I mean, they're coming over the wall like crazy. I get like three, four, five, people that do API tracking or speed up your application process. They all promise they do all of these things, but the problem is that we've noticed that when we have engaged with it, there's always been some type of a complication or a hurdle we got to hop through. So it never really made it simpler. It made it an extra step that we needed to do. So that's what kind of made us hesitant to it. And we're like, hey, we've been doing our hiring for years. We have a system in place. We're not interested. But that all changed when we met Hellohire.
And what was different? So how is this not just another tech platform?
Where do I start? So, I mean, in terms of like my HR aspect, the amount of time that we spent doing applications, doing the hiring, the interviewing, Hellohire has essentially taken all of that time. Like if I would tell you 160 hours that were probably placed into one job ad itself to do the recruiting, the hiring, the analysis of the applications, and the constant follow up, it has taken it all down to like literally a simple click of a button. It takes me less than 10 minutes to get everything running. And it's probably faster than that, but I just move a little slow on certain things. But it moves a lot faster. I spend more of my time trying to figure out the demographics of the actual ads that I post. But it has taken it down from 160 hours to literally 10 minutes. And everything after that is just us showing up and then constantly doing what we need to do. The system itself is flawless. I've never seen anything like it before in my life. To be able, as an owner and a person as well that also did the interviewing at my company for a while, for me to just be able to post my ad up and allow HelloHire's AI aspect to work the way that it works. And for me to just say, okay, I need to show up at 2 o'clock. And now I have my interview set up for this day. And the system handles everything from there. All the follow up, the engagement from the beginning, which is massive. It's absolutely amazing.
Thanks, Angel. Appreciate that. What are your metrics for success, and what are some of the KPIs that you track in general? And then how has Hellohire affected that?
So before Hellohire, the KPIs that we tracked were obviously how many scheduled appointments we had, how many interviews, how many full onboardings. Those were basically our key metrics that we were looking at. Now with the KPIs that Hellohire has built into it, we're like astonished to be able to get a good hardcore look at what's going on to really see how many people are actually engaging, right? How many people are actually responding, have followed up, who showed up to the call, and maybe we weren't on there yet immediately for them. So that all tells us, at least I can look at from my HR standpoint, how is it that we're doing? It has taken something that we could never really measure before, which is I get these applicants, they apply, and immediately I would engage like within 24 hours on a manual engagement. I would send out the next morning who applied last night. I'm sending out the links. trying to reach out, schedule people that I'm interested in for interviews, the system now does that immediately. So as soon as they apply, boom, they got the link, which is it's a massive thing to have, obviously, because we're all fighting for the same pool of caregivers in our areas. The company wants to be the fastest one to respond to them because that increases your actual turnout ratio. So that's something that we've been following a lot since we've been working with Hellohire, which was absolutely amazing to us to really see, hey, I had 32 people apply to this position and we engaged all 32 and 12 responded to it. The rest have not even responded yet. Now imagine the amount of hours that I was spending calling these people that would not respond anyway and paying for this measure for. So as an owner, it has saved us a lot of time and money. So that's been something that we looked at when it comes to the KPI, especially the ad spends. Because if you're doing like me, we operate a lot off of Indeed. So if I got an ad up and it's running for 2 weeks, 3 weeks while we're trying to catch up with applicants at the same time as the ad's running, I can literally run the ad now for like 3 days and pull 100 to 200 people, and Hellohire is going to weed them out. And I have, 15, 20, 30 people to interview like this, like within seconds.
Do you know, and maybe you probably don't have the exact number, but what was your ad spend you typically before, and what has it gone down to now?
I don't have the bottom line of how much we saved, but I know when I look at it in December, it's going to be astronomical. I tell you right now, we spend probably close to $1,000 every 2 or 3 days in ad spends, which is like our largest expense. As we know, the home care industry has a massive shortage of caregivers and nurses. So we're all spending, boatloads of money trying to recruit the best talent, and the engagement is the missing piece that's there, which Hellohire allowed us to overcome that obstacle with the instant communication and scheduling the caregivers. I would probably say I've taken an ad like on a weekly basis would run me maybe about $1,000 to $2,000, is probably down about 500, 600, all depending on how many people apply for the position, because that's sort of how Indeed works when it comes to that. But I would say that much. It's cut our expenses in half, if not more. But I can have a hardcore number probably by December.
Okay, that's good to hear. We hear that often, where you can turn the tap on, process what you need, get the people through and then turn it off. Which is huge. What was the onboarding process like? Was it easier or more difficult than you expected? Tell us about that.
When we onboarded with Hellohire?
Yeah.
Oh, it was super simple. I mean, being able to come in and kind of take a look at the system itself, it's pretty straightforward and self-explanatory, most of it. If you have some type of, experience working with technology like Zoom or anything like that, you're able to work with Hellohire system. But everybody at the team was absolutely helpful. Everybody walked us through the steps. They've always been available for us. Anytime we've needed anything answered, or if we've run into a complication or something like that, everybody's pretty helpful.
How have your applicants responded to Hellohire?
I think the applicants love it because they're able to book their own time. They're able to communicate with us faster when it comes to that. What I love about it the most is that it's been able for us to weed out caregivers or nurses that may not be too serious about the position, right? So I may have, 17 people or 20 people scheduled for interviews this week. And then out of those 17 or 20, maybe 10 of them are legitimately interested, like they really want the position. As an owner, it's great for me because I'm not chasing somebody who does not really want the position. They're just applying because they applied to a bunch of ads or a bunch of jobs. We have it now set up to the point where we're booked out in advance, like 2 to 3 weeks in advance for interviews now. And I have people calling the office because we're booked out and they want to be interviewed. And they're like, I saw the ad, I wanted, but you're all booked out. I don't have any time in the next 2 weeks. Like, I really want to get in there, which is amazing for us because as owners, most people tell us, hey, 80% of people don't show up to the interview process in our industry itself. But now I have people chasing me to interview. So that tells me right there, hey, they're really interested about the job. They really want it. Sure. Those are the kind of candidates that we're looking for. That's what I want. Right. I don't want people that are, on the fence about it. But it's been interesting for us for the most part. I mean, I love that aspect about it.
Thanks. How has the office staff responded to Hellohire? Like, tell us about the...
They love it. They love it. They love it because they don't have to do anything. They really don't. Before, they had to hop on the phone and get on the call, make the Zoom link, shoot the Zoom link out, go through all the processes and then follow up with them afterwards on a constant basis and say, hey, we need you, we need this. or maybe they're not even a good fit for the interview to begin with, and now we have this whole thing. Hellohire has allowed us to put a situation in place to where if candidates are asked pre-screening questions prior to even being allowed to book, to let them know these are the key things we're looking for in this candidate. Do you meet these? Are these things okay with you? For instance, the pay, the job description, of all of these things okay for you? If they are, go ahead and book. If they say no to any of them, then they're not the candidate first. That immediately eliminated, a good portion of people that may not have been a good fit, or we would have gotten and wasted an hour of our time, down to the point where it comes down to, well, this is the metrics for the jobs. And they tell us, no, I don't want to do that. Now it's like it was asked in the beginning in the screener, you said yes or you said no, and you were redirected at that point. So they love it because they don't have to do any of those things anymore. One, it was always awkward for them to tell somebody that it wasn't, they weren't a good fit for the company. But then the other aspect was actually having to call all of these people. Like I said, a Hellohire does everybody. Like if 80 people apply, 80 people were contacted, like in the same moment. So that would take my HR person, a whole week's worth of phone calls, if not more.
Right.
So, I mean, it's been awesome for that. They love it. They don't want me to ever get rid of it because it's very simple and easy for them. They just have to run it in the background while they're doing their work. And if somebody pops up to interview, they hop right on and they're there. If somebody doesn't no call, no show on the situation, they get updated by the system. Hey, we missed you, at the interview, would you like to reschedule? And they can reschedule. I think I have it preset at like 2 times where they can miss it and then reschedule. And it's been amazing for them. They love it. The client, the caregivers love it. And the actual staff of mine loves it. And I love it, which is the important part.
What features do you use most frequently or like love the most? Is there one thing that you just love the most?
It's hard to say, man. I've been a champion of this thing since we started using it, to be honest with you. I love the whole system, but I would probably say the 2 top ones, because there's 2, have to be the immediate contact and reach out and the actual pre-screening. Because although Indeed's ad has pre-screening questions, I always found over the years that they don't really read them.
Right.
So client, caregivers or nurses will go on there and they'll just click yes to everything, but they don't really pay attention to it. So when I give them a pre-screening of these are the key things we're looking for, this is how much the job pays, this is what the, more intricate details of the job is, this is what's important for you to know about this. And if you're not willing to do these things, this might not be the position for you. It allows us to eliminate, half those candidates right out the gate without us having to have a pointless interview that they're not going to be able to go forward with us anyway. So it's helped us with that a lot. And I think those are the top 2 things, because obviously the immediate reach out is massive in our space because that increases your, interviewing ratio. It increases your actual onboarding. That's the key. That's where everything begins at, because most agencies fail at that. When you're doing it manually, sometimes we're not reaching out till 2, 3, 4 day 4. Even a week later at times, because we get so many of these applicants and we have to go through each one, click, look at the resume, look and see what's going on. Is it a good fit? When I can just set those pre-screener questions right out the gate before they're even allowed to book, which is awesome.
Thanks, Angel. What's the biggest result that you've seen in your business post Hellohire?
Biggest results?
Most impactful result?
It's hard to say because, like I said, I mean, the system is just that great, man. Like I've been telling everybody that I know about it, just because, like I said, my staff's happy about it. It's been able to be, an expedited process for them, so they're not bogged down for hours and hours and hours chasing people. So it's easier for them. That's been massive. So, like I said, from a bottom line situation, my staff is now more valuable now because they're not wasting all those hours of me chasing people to come to interview and getting them to do the interviews. So now they're able to be more productive. It's increased productivity in the company. I would say even from the marketer standpoint, believe it or not, my marketers are very hands-on. So one of the things that's been big for us is we sometimes in our space will do a mass hire, because we're going into things like season right now. So we need individuals on the roster that are ready to go at any moment. And for my marketers, you may have interviewed somebody 2 weeks ago. We onboarded. They're waiting for a case to come in, but maybe they never heard of this person. This is a brand new person working for us.
Right.
So what do? Go back and watch the recording. And then we say, hey, take a look at it. Do you think this is the right fit for that client? And they'll make the judgment. They're like, hey, I was with the family. I was in the home. Like, she's not going to work out, or he's going to be great. And they make that determination in that moment. So they love it. And me as an owner is even more better, because a lot of times what I like to do on the weekends, because I eat, live, and breathe this stuff, is I will go in and watch the interviews. One of my new administrators that's doing the hiring right now for us in our new location, I go in and watch the interviews and see, is she representing the company properly? You know,
Right.
is she pitching who we are? Is she asking the right questions? And do I think that this caregiver or candidate is going to be a good fit for the company? Because sometimes they'll write a maybe on there on a potential, which then to me goes, okay, are we hitting our clear metrics? Are we looking for what we're looking for the elite type of caregiver that we represent? So that's massive for us with that. And I absolutely love that. I mean, it just increased productivity massively. And I think it's helped the caregivers and the nurses a lot as well, because everybody needs to be flexible. You're in the age of technology. So for them to be able to just schedule their own interview on their own time and we kind of let them know this is what's available. They select it. It's seamless.
3 more questions, man. Appreciate you. What surprised you the most about Hellohire? Like, what's the biggest surprise?
The simplicity and that it actually works. Because I'm telling you, because everybody comes and they tell you that their system is seamless and I've always found that when I was approached by these people, or we demo tested it, or we tried it for a little bit, it was always an extra step. It's always, well, the system can't really do that, but you have to make some maneuvers on your end to make that work. But everything on this system has worked for us the way that we want it to work. We haven't really had issues with anything there. Most of our stuff has been, surprising to me, has been the ability to go ahead and increase the amount of interviews that we were doing, increased our show-up ratio, and increased our onboarding ratio massively without having to actually do more work. We're actually doing less work, which is amazing.
Is there anything we could do better? Is there any feature or capability you'd love to see in addition to what we already do?
I can't say, to be honest with you. I really can't think of anything yet. I'm sure one day something will pop into my mind and I'll say, hey, you should really do that. But I mean, no, the videoing aspect, the AI summary right after the interview itself is great, because it kind of scares my HR people sometimes. They're kind of just like, how did it pick up all that info? I'm just like, I know, right? It's awesome. Like, you can take a look at this and get the whole summary. I mean, we know Zoom has like the AI companion built into it, so we get those summaries, but not to the point where it tells you the strengths, the weaknesses of the candidate. I mean, we can tell it because we're interviewing it, but in the process, the system will let you know as well. So it's a quick summary for me sometimes if I don't want to watch the whole video of the interview and just kind of skim through it a little bit, see how we graded them, see what the Zoom summary says, and just go through there. I mean, that to me is one of the big things for that system itself. But I can't really pinpoint one thing that I would say right now that you guys can do better yet. I mean, to me right now, like I said, you guys have solved a massive, massive problem. So I can't ask for much more.
You can always ask. So when you think of that, let me know. Last question. What would you say to someone who's considering Hellohire right now? What would you say to one of your peers in the industry?
Absolutely do it. Do it. I have been in your position. I have thought about it. I have people coming at me every single day from every direction wanting to sell me the latest software, the latest tech. This is something that's simple, cost effective, absolutely amazing. It'll help your team. It'll help you save money. It'll help you increase your productivity, help you find better quality candidates, people that really want the jobs because they're doing their end of the deal when it comes to the booking and showing up to the interviews. So absolutely do it. Don't even think about it. Like I said, I was super hesitant. And as an owner, I'm like, here's another tech company. You want me to sign up? You want me to do this? I literally told the employee that introduced me to Raven. I said, hey, I'm not interested in talking to them because they just want my money. But to this day, I'm like, man, this was the technology of 2024 for us. This was the one hit. And when I look back at this year and I say what really changed our company, what helped us in the fourth and third quarter really take it up a notch, it was Hellohire.
Amazing. Angel, thank you so much for taking the time to share your experience. Really appreciate it. And appreciate you as a customer.
Absolutely. I appreciate you guys. Keep doing what you're doing. We need it.